Good morning, good morning. Okay. It's good to see you all. It's a fantastic building. I just want to start with just telling you a little bit about me, because I hope maybe during the day I'll get to meet some of you in a one-to-many ratio. If I tell you something about me, I can save time later on and just focus on you and get to know more about you. So when I was a young lad, growing up in southeast London, when I was about that high, my dad bought me a wind-up gramophone. In the early 60s, nobody wanted them anymore, and he bought me piles and piles of records. And these records were classical music, jazz, whatever. And that was my education before I went to school. And this guy here, this is Sibelius, and it's taken by a photographer called Karsh. And Karsh is a great photographer. I used to be an amateur or even very keen on photography, so I've chosen that picture. I've also shown you a picture of some loudspeakers, because all these years later, I'm still interested in hi-fi and music and stuff, and I actually am a director of a loudspeaker manufacturer, so I kept that going. And then also, I've set up a charity called Young Belgian Talent. In Belgium, we get the best classical musicians there are around, and we bring them on the stage, and we give them performance, and we sponsor them for the next 3 years of their lives, and support them, and guide them, and coach them into their professional careers. So that's what I also do there. I'm the chairman of that organization. I'm also the chairman of the Bayard Partnership, which is an outsourcing company of project managers and change managers. So if anyone's looking for a job, have a chat with me or my colleague. So when I'm not being the managing director or chairman of the Bayard Partnership, I'm actually riding my motorbike as far as I can. And I drive right across Europe, to the Arctic Circle down to the south, wherever I can go, from Brussels to Budapest and back, wherever I can take me, just to clear my head. Because if we're going to inspire people and teams and lead, we need to keep a clear head, and we need to have new ideas, new visions, which we can share with our people. So that's what I do. And when I'm not driving my motorbike, I'm at home with my wife and our cats. Very important, special part of my life, the foundations of my career and my life, in fact. And I love her very much. And when I'm not with her, no, I'm not with somebody else, I'm actually in my home office reading, writing books, and listening to music, of course. So that's me. Okay. Should have taken 1 minute, 20 seconds, Roy. I hope we're okay. The question we really want to look at today, though, is can project managers make good change managers? Hands up those who think that a good project manager can make a good change manager. Yeah, and I think when we're looking at the previous figures, it depends. I'm hearing, yeah, that's not bad. That's hopeful for me, and it's hopeful for the world, I think. Let's look at the first workshop. I want to imagine a place, and this is 2 pieces of land with water in between. And what I want to do is I want to recruit a project manager to build a bridge across the 2 pieces of land. Okay? And to get the job, it's a fantastic job, I want an outstanding project manager. For the outstanding project manager, when you come for your interview, you're only going to be able to ask one question. You ask the question, and if I like the question, you get the job. Right, you've got 30 seconds to write down on a piece of paper now the question that you would ask me if you came for a job to build the bridge, as a project manager building the bridge. Quickly, grab them. As soon as you've got something, raise them in the air. Debbie and the team will come and pick them and get them to me. I'm going to come round. Let's see what we can do. Have you got a question? What question would you ask me? Any questions at all? Someone's writing a question here. Fantastic. You got something? Lovely. You don't have to give me the whole pad. You can, yeah, there you go. Lovely. More, please. Keep them coming. Wave them in the air when you've got them. Oh, I've got a whole load down here. Upstairs, you can just throw them over the balcony. All right, we've got lots there. Yeah. Oh, I've got a good one here. Yeah, a couple here, some on the table. Debbie and the team, can you get the others up? I got to go home. Right, okay, lovely. Okay, Debbie, keep them coming. Yep. And by the way, there's a prize for the best answer. Not necessarily the right one, but the best one. Great project. First question this project manager is going to ask me is, what's the budget? How much money have we got? Okay. What's the bridge going to be used for? Quite useful, good question. Where is it? Yeah, it's a bit lost at the moment, to be honest with you, but where is it? What's the budget? Lots of questions about budget coming to you. And then what's we got here? What's it going to be used for? I've got a brilliant answer here. What type of bridge will we build? Suspension, whatever, tunnel. We've got some more, got some good ones coming through here, Debbie. Okay, fantastic. Got some good ones here. What defines the successful delivery? For whom is the bridge? I tell you what, I gave a lecture at one of Europe's biggest or most famous management schools. I better not say which one it is. And somebody wrote, "Why is the river there?" God help us all. And I don't know who wrote this one. Some of you did, so we're just going to take it at random. So if you think you wrote this one, just put your hand in the air, and the first hand I see is the one who's going to win the book. The question I'm wanting is, why? Wow, you liars. Okay, so what did you write next? Why do you want to build a bridge, is what the person wrote down. Was that yours? You've got it. I'll give it to you at the end of the phrase. There it is. So, don't let me forget. Why is the golden question. Why are we doing this project? What's the problem we're trying to solve? And then the next question, how do we know when it's solved? Here's another thing. We've got a lectern here. I need a project manager now. Everybody's hiding. Where's Steve? Can we find Steve Wake? Steve, why don't you come up here and show us your skills at project management? Don't be shy. Now what I'm going to do is show you something. I want to show you the difference between project management and change management, okay? Yeah, that's perfect, Steve. Over there. Okay. Workshop number 2. We've got our bridge over our piece of land. But what we don't realize is that not far away, there's a town called Pleasantville. And it's not very pleasant, to be honest, because there's a bloody great big road going right through the middle of it. And last year, 2 children were killed. And an old person was killed a few years earlier. The shops are closing, it's polluted, it's a horrible place to be. The economy's collapsing. So Steve here is going to build a bridge. And he's going to be the project manager, right? So Steve, can you start writing down on your board? I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll turn it around so no one can see you, because there are a load of cheats in this room. Right on there. Now, what I want you to do is write down what you think the project manager will be focusing on building the bridge. What are the most important things? Come on, let's quickly do this while Steve is writing as fast as he can, because I've only got 25 minutes. How far am I in now? Roy, am I doing okay? Okay, that's cool. Good, so keep writing, write down what you got. Now, over there and up the top here, right, you're all change managers, okay? So I want you to think about what would the change manager be busy with, and you guys down here are the project managers. What should Steve be writing on his chart, okay? You're the project change managers. What will you be writing? Have you got anything, Steve? He's writing a letter to his mum. Yeah. Some good stuff coming on this chart. I hope to illustrate this very clearly to you, how I see the fundamental difference between the two, because it's very important where one starts and where one finishes. Everybody says it's vague. It's not vague. It's complex, but it's not vague. Okay, Steve, have you got something? All right, do you want to turn your board around? Let's see what Steve's written. Yeah, it won't fall over. Here we go. Concrete for the footings. He's concerned about concrete, because apparently the bridge is going to be made of concrete. He's looking about the steel frame, the power, the accommodation, security, legal clearance. What are you guys? Come on, shout some out. What have you got? Anything, come on. Time scale, planning, what else have we got? Resources. Capacities, what? Risk, scope, time. Fantastic, we've got them eventually. Eventually we got there, Jim. You know we've got Jim Snyder in the house, who founded PMI back in 1968. He's here. He's going to talk to us later this afternoon. So, brilliant. That's what we've got. Thank you, Steve. I mean, this is okay. Let's just have a look at this. What's the change manager doing? First of all, I'm thinking, is it clear why we're building the bridge? We're building a bridge not because we want a bridge. We're building a bridge because we don't want any more people getting killed in Pleasantville. We want the shops to reopen. We want the people to come back. And we want to live in a nice place. That's why we're building the bridge. So is the why clear? Do we have all the essential arguments? Are we going to call it Laura's Bridge so no one dares stop our project? I'm thinking about people. I mean, how can we incorporate the conservationists into the project? Are we going to get problems here? Now, he's thinking about these things, but you'll see in a minute that they link. I'm thinking about the politicians, the local politicians, the national politicians. What are they going to think about the bridge? Will there be elections during the course of the preparation phase of the bridge? Now, obviously, Steve's written security. I'm looking at safety and security, but I'm not looking after the people on the bridge. That's his job, his team. I'm thinking about people in the town. And I'm thinking about the shopkeepers and the tradesmen and the people who are going to lose business whilst the bridge is being built. Even when the bypass is coming, the cars are just going to go around at 70 miles an hour around the outside, aren't they? So we've got to think about this. I'm thinking about summer holidays. Why am I thinking about summer holidays? The kids are off school. This bridge may be going slow at that point. I mean, I don't know what Steve's planning is there, but maybe some people are off on holiday, and maybe the kids will break onto the site, and maybe there'll be a terrible accident. What have we got up there, change managers? Have you got anything for me I haven't mentioned yet? Not a lot up there. Anything? Pardon? Who is affected by the bridge? I've listed a few here. A brilliant one. Who are our stakeholders? Who are going to be impacted negatively and positively? Wave your hand, whoever said that. Oh, we'll have a chat later on. That's great. Thank you. So, pollution, noise, dust. In the summertime in England, we're going to have a lot of mud, aren't we? Or maybe we'll have dust. Maybe we'll have dust. Okay, we will have a lot of dust. But there's going to be noise. We maybe have a dust line, a mud line. All of these things are important. I'm worried about Friday nights. Why is the change manager worried about Friday nights? Who's drunk? No, I don't get drunk on a Friday night. You've just won a prize for me. I mean, come on. No, I mean, the thing is, on Friday night, all of Steve's workforce are going to go into the town for a drink, aren't they? And all the local bars are going to be filled. And maybe there'll be some fighting, and maybe people get drunk. I don't know. So there is concerns that I'm thinking about that the project manager is not. Steve, thank you very much. A round of applause for Steve. It's not very nice to have to come up and do that. Thank you. Thank you very much, Steve. Okay. So if the PMI says the primary role of the PM is to plan, make a plan, do it, check it, and then act, you've probably heard that before, then I think, and we've heard the word before, that the change manager's primary role is anticipate what can happen, look at the project plan and anticipate all the time, and then strategize, make your strategy for it, and then make it happen. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the big question here. This is the one. And I don't mean it in any derogatory way, but do you want to spend your time building the bridge as a project manager? If you're not that happy in project management anymore and you're looking for something slightly different, or you want to stretch yourself a bit further, maybe you could think about, do you want to spend your time ensuring that the bridge gets built? They're two different things. The change manager is making the space to allow the project team to get on with their work. They're engaging the leadership. They're making sure that they're involved. And more importantly than anything, as a change manager, do you want to spend your time making sure that the bridge ends up solving the problem it's set out to solve, i.e., Pleasantville becoming happy again, people at the shops reopening, people having fun and being there. Workshop number 3. Let's compare the skills required between a project manager and a change manager. project managers, change managers. I think that a project manager needs to be a good planner, but so does a change manager. Because they have to look at the project manager's plan and make sure that he or she, to see what their teams are doing. Change managers, you are not God. You will work to the project plan. It is not the other way round. Trust me. There is one plan, it's the project plan. Your plan has got to anticipate what is likely to happen when they start digging the foundations of the bridge. Cracks will appear in the local church. The vicar will contact the press. That's the change manager's job, to anticipate. You need to be a good strategist in project management and change management. You're just applying them in a different way. You need to be a good time manager. You can't say, oh, please don't start the foundations yet. I haven't got my communication plan ready. Doesn't fly. So you've got to be able to influence people. The project managers are influencing the project team and the people they're reporting to in their process, of course. But the change manager, this is essential here. You've got to be a leader. You've got to show leadership. You've got to look at that angle on the triangle. That's essential. But the change managers above these things have to be excellent communicators. And one of the great things about the chart we saw in the circle is, remember, you don't have to be great at everything. As long as you know people who are good at the stuff that you're not so good on, then you let them get on with the bits that they can do. It's delegation, huh? No one can be on all of that circle at the same time. I don't believe it. We have to make sure we have people around us. We have to think creatively. We have to anticipate what's likely to go wrong, who's going to complain, what will happen, how, where, when, and come up with really good strategy and be quick, really agile. And we want to have the desire to work at all levels of the organization, get the cleaners on board in the project, get the CEO on board, and make sure everyone is working together. And you've got to have the ability to talk at each level, and to communicate well at each level, and to listen at each level. You need an extremely high emotional quotient. There's no alternative. In change management, you have to understand, because your job is to push people to the point where they are really at their max, and to know how far can you go before it goes too far. You've got to be able to read people. You've got to scan them. So the process we've seen this morning is not just an idea. It's essential in change management. Because if you're going to make a change, people are not happy about change. Generally, they're not. So you're going to have upset people. You better get used to it. The ability to work in the background. Now, what is really interesting, you might think I'm a very entrepreneurial guy, and yeah, this is the way that Harley does it. When I'm working with clients, the people who are impacted by the change don't see me. They see the leaders. They see the team. I'm working with the employees and the teams and the leaders for them to go onto the stage, for them to make it their change. They are going to change, not me. So I have got to learn in change management to take a bit of a back seat and let other people be the heroes. Project managers, you're allowed to be heroes. That's no problem. Change managers, keep a low profile and let everybody else be the heroes. The confidence to challenge. You've got to dare to say, listen, I think that you are going in the wrong direction. Please don't talk about the build phase yet, because we're not there yet. Focus on all the worries and the concerns. You've got to really be able to challenge things which don't make sense. You've got to be willing to help other people, because if people have got to give up a challenging speech and say about the future, which the people don't want to hear, you've got to coach them, and you've got to be ready to be coached. There is no perfect change manager on the planet. I'm certainly not. I'm constantly learning from other people and from the mistakes of myself and the mistakes of other people. Quick thinking, clear decision-making skills, absolutely essential. But I just want to focus on one of these attributes, and that's anticipation. If you need to anticipate, that is the job of the change manager in the most minute detail. You've got to know what people are thinking. And I have a mood matrix And in the new book, there's a whole load of templates. You can just download them from the internet, and you can just use them. And one of them is a mood matrix. And what I do is I get the project plan, I get all the phases of the project plan, and I look at all my stakeholders. Thank you for the tip here. Here they are, key users, end users, leadership team. And I'm working out, what are they thinking at each phase of the project? At the beginning, maybe they haven't heard of the project. They're not thinking anything. But later on, they start thinking. But the leadership, in the beginning, they're thinking about, what's the problem we're solving? How much is it going to cost? How am I going to look? Should I follow this project or not? The last one was a disaster. Who's the project manager? These are the things they're thinking. But what you want them to say is, this is an important project, not just for now, but for the future of our company. So I'm mapping these things. It's very simple. There's no magic to change management. It's very simple, actually, if you just have a simple structure and you follow a very basic methodology. Fundamentals. There are so many aspects of project management that come back in change management. And the most additional pieces can be learned if you want to. If you're prepared to open your mind and say, right, the way I've been doing it for the last 20 or 30 years maybe could do with some improvement or some adaptations. It's very important. The secret formula is change management is equal to emotional intelligence multiplied by experience plus learning and reading and learning and self-discovery, making mistakes and otherwise. That's why the bald head is here, from all the years and the years of mistakes. So just for fun now, I'm just going to end up now, just for fun. I thought it might be interesting to show you how good a change manager I am, or how shit I am. And I'm going to read your minds, because I'm going to anticipate what you guys are thinking. The first anticipation I'm going to have is, I think someone is thinking, I hope my car is safe. No, you came by taxi. I know, you're the chic suitor. I hope my partner is not upset with me when I get home. When we're at work, we are often concerned about things which are not just the things on our minds. We could do with some change managers on our project. Perhaps one of you is thinking, how can I switch from being a project manager to a change manager? How can you do that? My CV is project management. Where can I learn more about change management? It's all very interesting, but God, I need a coffee. Voila, 1 out of 7 isn't too bad. So, I think you've been a great audience. Thank you for listening, if you have been. And this is the new book. And if you're interested in the topic, come and talk to me. And I'd love to share my views and listen to you and your stories. Thank you very much indeed, ladies and gentlemen.